Wow, what a game at the Garden. One that started out as it was looking like it was going to be a blowout win for the Knicks, but it ended up with them as the losers as they fall 111-106 to the Brooklyn Nets. And at the start of things, it was all New York, who posted 38 points in the first quarter behind Julius Randle's 14 points in that quarter, and it helped them establish a 20-point lead going into the second quarter. And they carried this momentum and they extended their lead to as much as 28 before heading into halftime, up 21. And it was at this point in the game where the momentum started to change into the Nets' direction. At the start of the second half, the Nets went on an 8-0 run in the third quarter to start things off. And that Nets train, it continued down the stretch into the late moments of the fourth quarter. And it was all Cam Thomas right there. He dropped 16 points in that fourth quarter alone, and he seemed really unstoppable. It was his aggressiveness that helped the Nets tie things up at 97, and he would go on to hit the game-clinching three in Quentin Grimes' face to win it for the Nets. Some stats from tonight's game: Julius Randle continuing to dominate, 31 points, 10 rebounds. Emmanuel quickly adding 18 points off the bench. For the Nets, Seth Curry with 20 points and Cam Thomas leading the way with 21 points. A couple takeaways I have: this is a Knicks team that needs to learn how to play a full 40 minutes. 3 times this month they've dropped 20-plus point leads, and that's just something that cannot happen. And another big takeaway for me is they need to figure out this rotation. There's too many guys that need minutes to develop. Cam Reddish needs minutes, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel quickly. The list goes on and on. And for me, guys like Alec Burks, Kemba Walker, Taj Gibson that are still getting minutes, as useful as they are for this Knicks team, you need to start developing players to look down the road, and that's a big thing for me. I want to see Emmanuel quickly get more minutes and really develop into a great point guard. I want to see the same thing with Obi Toppin as a forward, and I think that's just something this Knicks team really needs to work on. But there's still a lot of time as the Knicks head into this All-Star break. You're starting to get a little worried that you have to start looking at the lottery and potential of the offseason. But Coach Tom Thibodeau, with still some hope, and he says there are certain things the Knicks can definitely work on. And this is what he had to say in the post-game press conference.
Obviously, we'd like to be doing better, than we are. And there's still time. So come in, get a chance to get your breath, take a step back, take a hard look at, where we are, and then start with yourself. Everyone start with themselves. What can we do better individually? Then bring it to the group, and then get the spirit of the team together. And that's got to be the primary focus. It's the spirit of the team, and that's on both ends of the floor.
Once again, the Knicks lose this one 111-106 to the Brooklyn Nets. Not where you want to be right now. If you're the Knicks, you go into this All-Star break 12th in the Eastern Conference, 25-34 on the season. You have a little bit of a break time to mentally get right. Your next game Friday, February 25th, when you host the Miami Heat. So some time for the Knicks to get things going, and you really need to figure out this roster. This is going to be a last hope, maybe the week or 2 weeks after the All-Star break, to find some wins, maybe get closer to 500. But if they're not able to do so, they're going to start looking at the draft. They're going to start looking at getting a high pick in the lottery and heading to free agency in the summer. But getting a little ahead of ourselves, still a whole second half of the season after the All-Star break. But until then, with WFUV Sports, I'm Michael Calamari.